everyone, and welcome back to Age Perfect Beauty. I'm here today with Natalie.
Hi.
Hi. Natalie's been here with us before, and she's a master hairstylist, and today we're going to be touching on a topic that's quite close to my heart, and I'm sure it's close to a lot of your heart as well. It's about what happens when we get to mid-age and beyond and we start experiencing thinning hair and hair loss in general. So Natalie's going to be giving her expert opinions on which type of styles, how to cover this type of issue, and I'll talk about my own personal experience with this as well. So let's get into it. So why do we suffer from hair loss as we get older? Well, it's basically when you're going through menopause, it's a bit of a vitamin deficiency that happens in our systems, and we start to lose the hair that's on our head, yet we seem to grow it in other places. Like, it's just not fair. So my personal experience is that I tried about 6-8 months ago, I tried Rogaine, and I also tried a supplement called Biotin. And I found that the Biotin, and I think I've mentioned this in one of my other videos, I found the Biotin really made my hair very shiny, like super shiny. I don't think it actually helped with, my hair growing, but it definitely made my hair nice and shiny. I don't feel like the Rogaine really worked for me. I know it does for other women. It just didn't work for me, and it was very messy and inconvenient to use. I found it was affecting my my styling as well. So Natalie, let me ask you this. Do you know of any lotions, potions, anything like that that could help a woman who's suffering from hair loss?
Well, there is the surgery option.
Oh.
Right? The hair transplant. They do it for men.
Oh, that's true, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so it's also available for women. But what they recommend to keep the hair on your head is to use those shampoo that we hairstylists have.
Oh, okay.
I have a shampoo to help for woman hair loss.
Oh.
And the thing is also, it might be a vitamin deficiency, but also the pores of our scalps are getting clogged. And there's hormones on there. The hormones are affecting the hair. Hormones are a big thing on hair loss. Pregnancy, a lot of women are affected that way.
You're right. It's not just menopause, because one of my best friends, when she was pregnant, she's going to hate me for saying this, but she lost quite a bit of hair through her children. They took all the good stuff from her.
Yeah, so there's a lack of vitamin because you're giving it to your child, the hormones, stress, diet.
Diet, yes.
Diet. A lot of people that are on those really strict diets have a lot of hair loss.
What do you mean by strict diets? Like if you're
extremely restricting the calories.
Oh, okay.
Extreme restriction of calories.
So you're not getting like a healthy nutritional diet.
Yes.
Okay.
So vitamins always help. I know New Chapter has hair, skin, and nails, which is really great. They use actually, I think, a seaweed in there. And seaweed, that's another thing I used to recommend for my clients. Spirulina and all that, because it's one of the wild food that we have that's actually high in mineral.
Oh, okay.
But I really like what I use for my hair. I was thinning out as a younger. I started thinning out in my front, and I was at a fringe because it was so thin. I wanted to hide it.
Yes.
I started using the Lanza shampoo that I have, which is called Nourish, Healing Nourish.
And that's from Lanza?
That's from Lanza. And there's a shampoo, a conditioner, and a spray.
Okay.
I've only used the shampoo and conditioner, and it's made a huge difference in my hair.
Okay.
What it does, it keeps your hair in the phase. The hair has a growth phase.
Yes.
And it keeps it in the growing phase longer.
So what is the growing phase of hair? Like, how does that work?
Up to 5 years. So
Okay.
what happened is your hair grows up to 5 years. Then it sheds. Then your hair follicle goes into a dormant stage.
Okay.
And there's no hair growing at that point, and then it starts growing again.
Okay. Okay. So what are we trying to do here? We're trying to
To keep it trick your hair into thinking it needs to be in the growing stage, not the shedding stage,
Right.
and the dormant stage.
Okay. Natalie, can you give us some solutions on how we can actually hide thinning hair on our scalp? And fast, easy ways we can do it at home.
Yeah, like non-permanent, easy,
Yes.
temporary solution. So I like to use these called Air Veil.
Okay.
I have different colors. Like I just picked 3 up right now. That might be more what's going on for somebody. These are the 3 colors I grab. I have it in reds, copper. And what it is, it's a little brush. You can even use it on your eyebrows, they say. It's completely waterproof, which is a great solution if you're gonna be in the rain. You don't wanna be...
Well, I find we both stock Wow. I stock Wow in my kit. I actually use Wow today in my, especially with the dark hair. I just put a little bit of Wow powder in here as well.
Yeah. So there's
Oh.
a powder, the brush, you put it on there.
And then
can
you just
apply
go
it.
on your,
So this solution would be great if you have multiple tones
yes.
in your hair.
Yes.
If you're in the gray, you can do the dark and the light.
Mix them together?
Like go and do highlights almost. Like where it's dark, go with the dark. Where it's light, go with the light.
Ooh, that's a good idea. Okay.
Yeah. So it might be a little more time consuming. Do that where it's thinning.
Because I recently had one of my followers on Facebook asked me, she's got salt and pepper hair. She's got some thinning hair issues, but she's, I think, a little bit more salt than she is pepper at this point in her life. And she said, Vicky, what do I do? Because I was recommending Topic, which is a powder as well.
Yeah. Well, I have
is-
different brands than her. This one's for gray, but it's all gray.
Yeah. So what does she do? Does she just mix the two powders together to create something that's...
That might be very challenging because look at the opening on these bottles. So you might want to put tape on half and just sprinkle where it's really light and then sprinkle where it's really dark.
Yeah, yeah.
It might be very challenging. That's why I would recommend these powder.
Right. So the sprinkle on fibers, what do they? They are more to give the roots volume to make it look like it's more voluminous, and they build up the hair root.
What happens is those fiber attached to the fine hair that's not growing thick.
Okay.
And then it makes the illusion that each hair is thicker. So if you have no hair to start with anyway, this is probably a better solution over this. This needs a hair there to attach to it.
So this is the powder,
This is the fiber.
fiber powder.
The fiber.
And this is more like that little powder that you were showing us with
Yeah.
the little brush that you can just add on.
More like an
just-
eyeshadow almost.
And that would be a really great way to
Yeah.
hide thinning hair and
Oh,
thinning
yeah.
areas. Oh,
It
awesome.
works really great, and then there's more color available. For the hair fiber, I guess they're not as popular, and they're harder and harder to get.
Yes.
This here at the hair show, I only got 3 color. There was not even gray.
And if people want these products that we're talking about, can they come to you if I put a link to your...
Yeah, they can come to me
Okay.
and find the link in the description.
Okay. All right.
And-
Sounds good. So we've got hair powders. We've got hair mascaras.
There are mascaras available. I'm having a challenge finding them. And I like the mascara because it was like directly where I needed it.
Yeah.
They have sprays at the Shoppers Drug Mart. I've
They
used those
do the
before.
L'Oreal touch-up
Yeah.
sprays. And I'll give you guys a little bit of a tip here too, which I've used on clients that have hired me just for makeup, not for hair. And I've shown up and they have issues with thinning. I'll just go in with a matte eyeshadow color that's very similar to their color. And now it's not going to be waterproof and it's not, going to last them for 24 hours and they're in the rain or if they have a hot flash. But what it does do is help cover up that scalp. So if you're in a rush and in a hurry, if you've got a matte eyeshadow that matches your hair color, that will work for you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of women are telling me I need to read certain books that they talk about hormones and how to keep your hormones in balance, and maybe go to your doctor. Because I think it's Summer has a book on it, and one of my clients says you need to go to your doctor before you hit menopause so they can test your hormone.
Yes.
And then you can have a compatible.
HRT?
Yeah.
Hormone replacement
Yeah.
therapy? Yeah, yeah. I haven't gone down that road. I just thought I'm gonna go in full blown on and just deal with it. I don't know if that was the wisest thing to do, but
Yeah.
I have noticed that my hair has stopped shedding as much as it was, and I started to really take care of it as well.
Yeah.
I had to. So what advice would you have for women who are still dealing with it and we have clients like this where they have bald patches,
Yeah.
What kind of hairstyles work best for those kind of women?
For me, I'm really big on color. I'm a hairstylist, but I'm also a colorist.
Yeah.
So what I know about color, I can play with color for the eye. Light against dark creates volume.
Okay.
And then if you have a warm color, it will look thicker than a cool color. If you have cool color like a violet, a ash, a platinum, those are cool color, they will look smaller. The hair will appear smaller.
Thinner.
Yeah, thinner.
So you want to go, when you say warmer, you don't mean dark. You mean like warmer.
Coppery, gold, beige, warmer color.
Okay.
So
okay.
if your skin tone doesn't allow for too much warmth, usually what I'll do is I'll use highlights and lowlights. You can play that way. You don't have to be all dark or all light. You can play with the colors, the high.
So
and
you're
the low.
saying that the high and the low on the scalp area
Creates an
will help
illusion
to
of
keeps okay, so it creates the illusion that you have more hair than you
Yeah.
have. Oh, I like that. So with my hair, because I know my hairstylist is probably watching, what would you suggest I do? Go a little bit lighter?
Well, a little bit lighter also hides the scalp. If you're too dark,
Yes.
the scalp is very visually there.
It is.
And if you look at this, my side, I know the side is a little bit more volume, but the dark next to the light creates that visual effect.
I see what you mean. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you can visually see. I'm extreme. I made it extreme so it's very visual.
Right.
But if you have highlights and lowlights, it might not be as aggressive as my hair, but you can have that effect.
Okay.
So maybe adding some highlights again. I know you had some.
I did
Yeah.
have some a while ago. You know what it is for me, and I go through periods
Yeah.
of this, but it's just more maintenance for me.
Yeah, but it also hide the gray when the gray comes in.
Yeah, that's true.
So there's that toss up, right? It's more money, more. But if we're talking at this point, you want to look your best.
Yes.
And sometimes you need to throw money at the problem.
Now, what about lengthwise? Because I wanted to grow my hair. I just got it cut recently,
Yeah.
but I wanted to grow it out a little bit for my niece's wedding last year, right? And that's at the same time I was going through the hair loss situation. So, what would you suggest? Do you suggest that we just keep our hair the same length? Should we go shorter if we're having thinning hair? Like, what works best?
Well, shorter will always look better when you have thinning hair. Because
it
remember
looks
those
thicker.
phase of hair I told you? Like you have the shedding, the growing, and the pause. Well, the one that's growing, when we have hair loss, they take longer to grow.
Oh, okay.
So then you'll have shorter lengths in your hair, and then if you match that to that shorter length, it will look fuller.
Okay, so shorter will be better.
It always is.
Yeah.
And there's also other solution like hair extension we're gonna touch a
Yeah,
little bit
yeah.
later.
What about layers? Because that was another thing. Because I
Layers.
find I've got thin hair, and as soon as I let my layers start to come out, it's not a good look.
Yeah. Well, it depends on how the hair loss is. This weekend I did somebody's hair. She actually has spots on the top.
Right.
And I keep her hair in a bob.
Oh, okay.
So it's flat on the top, so it hides very well on the top where the holes are, and it still looks full because it comes in.
right.
And it's easy to maintain for her, easy to style. Also, we have to think, as a stylist, can she style her hair when she goes home with all those layers?
That's so important.
Because I'm here today, I can style your hair, make you look amazing, and you go home and you can't style it. I consider that. I personally take that in consideration.
Thank you for that.
So layers can be an option if you're styling your hair, but if you're not somebody that's gonna style your hair, I minimize the amount of layers.
Okay. So extensions, because I recently have had quite a few clients that want extensions in their hair because their hair is a little bit thinner. And it may not be on the scalp because obviously the extensions are not gonna, unless you get bonded extensions, that's not really gonna help you up there. It's not gonna help you anyways if you have bonded extensions up there. But if you want to thicken up, you
the
know,
bottom, yeah.
I just did two clients this past week, and they're both in their 60s, and they both had extensions put in. You know, we have to get them cut, and they have to be colored the same, and you know, all of that stuff. But do you think if you have graying hair or thinning hair, that this is a good idea? More thinning hair.
Thinning hair, well, you have to be careful what type of extension, because usually thinning hair is more fragile.
Yeah.
You want to be able to remove the extension without damaging the hair.
So you need clip-ons.
Clip-ons or tape. I really like the tape, but the tapes are very seamless.
How do they work?
Well, you sandwich two pieces of tape and there's a little bit of hair in the middle.
Oh.
So they're very easy to remove, and they don't have that bond that thickens at the scalp. I could even grab some later, another video, and show you what they look like. They're really thin, they're skinny ones. You can even cut them to make them thinner, but they don't have that bond, so they can go really close to the
Oh,
top.
that's a really
Your
good
hair
idea.
can hide them, yeah.
So, and they don't show.
They are almost seamless.
Oh, I like
Not
that.
100%, but they're to me the closest. And when I do the removal, I'm a busy person. They're easy to remove. I can put them back in the hair. Those are my favorites so far of all the extensions I've learned. I do the copper link. I can do the bond, and the tape-ins are my favorite. I can sew them in as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Clip-ins. I can make custom clip-ins.
So you would advise it if, you know, you want to have a bit thicker hair,
Yeah.
you want to keep it a
Keep it
little
a
bit
little
longer, then you could put extensions in as
Yeah, you
well.
can.
Can you throw your hair up easily with these extensions?
Not as
on?
well.
I already know the answer to that. Yes.
Yeah, you can see, like if I'm waiting at the airport, I'm like extension.
Extension, yes. Yeah, you can
So it's better to wear it down.
Yes.
But
Yes.
if you want long hair, that's the price. And why would you want long hair to put it up?
This is true.
Wear it down. That's why I cut my hair off, because I will wear my hair up if I can.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I
And
understand.
I end up looking like this anyway, so.
Well, I thank you very much. That was very informative. Thanks very much for watching and for subscribing, and I look forward to seeing you next time on Age Perfect Beauty.